Mark Graham of Safety First Colorado. Thanks so much for requesting a little more information on how our floor treatment can dramatically reduce wet floor slip and fall injuries at your place of business. I want to be really respectful of your time in keeping this video short. I'm going to give you some information as I demonstrate how my product works. Now this tile we're looking at is it's kind of a run-of-the-mill ceramic tile. The blue tape is merely there to divide the tile in half because we're only going to treat one half of the tile. Now that number is about 67, and I'm gonna look at both sides, and that number is about 63. In measuring the traction, I just want to show you that a 63 or a 67 is great traction for a tile when it's dry. That would be considered safe. And when it comes to traction, the higher the number that we get on the meter, the higher the traction is. Now these are dry traction numbers, so again, being in the mid to low 60s is considered safe as long as the tile remains dry. Okay, let's get it a little bit wet. Okay, and measuring again, this side measures a 39. That side measures a 47. A significant loss of traction, as you can see, and of course a significant loss of safety. Now I'm going to dry off the tile and I'm going to spray some of my treatment on the tile. This process actually takes about 35 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here in a few minutes and we're going to check in on it. So I'm spraying this side, but not this side. We're back. It's been about 15 minutes into the treatment of this tile. Before I take another measurement, I want to let you know our product works on most tiles of ceramic, porcelain, quarry tile, travertine, terrazzo, cement, slate, stone, granite, marble, and part of what makes us very, very unique, no one else does it, is it works on epoxy-coated concrete without putting down an aggregate. It also works on fiberglass tubs, fiberglass shower pans, and VCT flooring. You can see that by the reflection, this tile is wet. A very important note is that the treatment is a non-topical, meaning there's no cure time and there's no film that's going to peel up in a couple of months. It won't turn yellow. It's not going to crack and fall away. So once the treatment is done, we rinse the floor and the floor goes right back into service. Now I'm putting the meter on the right side and our reading is about 81. Let's measure the untreated side. Putting water on this. And we can see it's still in that 30 to 40 range. Now we're shooting for a very specific number of 85 or better. This is the highest published traction guideline published by the ADA, and it's also adopted by OSHA and the state's health department. So we're going to come back in a few more minutes, but you can see the dramatic change already. We're nearly complete in about 30 minutes into this treatment. You can't see any difference necessarily in the tile other than it being wet. This is an important time to mention that our product is not an etch either. In a nutshell, etches strip and indiscriminately sort of tear the top layer off of your floor. There's really no controlling how much material it takes off, and it can get out of hand quickly, thereby ruining the surface and voiding the warranty of the tile, or even the cement that it's placed on. Not to mention being nearly impossible to clean and even keep clean. So let's measure the treated side again. Wow, a 91. We're a bit over that 85, but again, I wanted to be over it. That's a great traction reading, especially when wet. Most traction products out there make their claims based on a dry floor. Really, who cares when the floor is dry, right? We want to know it's got protection when it's wet. So having this kind of traction when wet is what sets us apart in helping you meet your safety goals. By virtually eliminating the risk of a wet floor slip and fall from occurring in the first place, you can go about doing what you do best. Leave the safe floors to us. Still a 43. Okay, I just dried off the tile because I wanted to show you that once we've treated the floor, there's really no difference in appearance of the floor, other than having received a deep cleaning if it's a dirty floor. But again, it's a uniform appearance, and it looks like it did at the beginning of the illustration. We'll wet it down again and measure. We're going to wet both sides. Here's the proof. 49. Still consistent with our other measurements. And the right side's still hitting that 90. That's fantastic wet traction. I'm sure you can imagine how this may really fit into your safety program. I've tried to keep the presentation short, so please, let's set a time to speak, and I'm happy to come to you for a live demonstration so you can really feel how cool this stuff is. We call it impact traction, and I'm sure you can see why. We can really help bring your safety goals to a reality. We warrant this work for 3 years, by the way, and we document the results for you. We'll even come visit you periodically to assure your floors are performing optimally. I don't think anyone else does that, but it's really important to us. I look forward to meeting you very soon. Thanks again so much.